Good time to get in our market expert of the day. We have Krishna Kumar Karwa, MD of MK Global, who joins us on the show. Hi, Krishna. Morning, and wishing you a happy new year and a prosperous and a healthy one as well. What about the markets? What would your approach be for 2022? Your view on the Indian markets? We did a poll, and that suggested that we're likely to get a return of roughly around 5 to around 10% on the index itself. Your take, and what's the select sector that you have?
First of all, wishing you and all your colleagues and viewers a very happy new year and safe and healthy new year. Yeah, markets, obviously we talk about the markets. Well, 2022, I think it's going to be a very challenging and volatile year in the sense that you will have these bouts of optimism and pessimism based on global macro factors. I think as far as local factors are concerned, apart from the issue regarding Omicron and the challenges, if any, I think locally there are not too many challenges except maybe inflation. But otherwise, on a global macro basis, there are too many headwinds or crosswinds. So you should see a very volatile year. But having said that, from a return perspective, investors who have a very reasonable return expectations on the back of very excellent returns that they have seen in the last 2 years, they would not be disappointed. So returns of around 12 to 15% for the next 12 to 18 months is what the broad expectations should be. Now, within that, you could possibly outperform if you have the right sectors in. And some of the sectors we believe that could give you much superior returns to start with. If the economy is doing well, then and the way the financial stocks are priced at, I think there is an opportunity over there in terms of superior returns, and they have also not done well over the last 12 months. So that's one sector where we believe that there could be some extraordinary returns that investors could earn. But having said that, one needs to be careful to be invested only in some of the top names over there. And the challenge over there is the extent of over ownership, which we should be very cognizant of. Apart from that, we believe the sector which has not performed in the last 4 or 5 years, and where there are some tailwinds, initial tailwinds, I would imagine, is the passenger vehicles and commercial vehicle sector. That sector has been underperforming for almost 5 years, and a cyclical uptick should possibly be on in that sector. There are not too many listed plays as far as passenger vehicle sector is concerned, but in commercial vehicles also there are a few plays. So that sector should do well, and the auto ancillary sector, which is more focused on the opportunities which the EV space gives, and which are more global players than local players, they should also do well. So these are some of the sectors that we think that could do well.
Okay, you've highlighted many sectors for us. Krishna, good morning. Happy New Year to you. By the way, the market is falling further now. So the Nifty down about 160 points. Okay, I mean, it hasn't been an accelerated downfall post the initial gap down opening, but there's been no recovery either. And the Bank Nifty is the one that's bearing a big brunt right now. A lot of stocks, Zomato is down in the red. You have Tata Motors that's under pressure. All the sugar stocks are falling. So we had alerted that, be a bit cautious over here with the run-up in momentum names. Ashok Leyland is coming in for profit taking. Krishna, you spoke about the passenger vehicle space and commercial vehicles. So cyclicals perhaps could see an uptick. What else? Because we're seeing some comeback in some of these capital goods names. Infrastructure activity has definitely picked up. Now with the Omicron variant, of course, you never know which way things go. But any other pockets that interest you for the slightly medium term?
Definitely. I think there is a distinct uptake as far as the capex cycle is concerned. As you speak to most of the corporate CEOs, all are in the process or have already started their capex programs. Most of the top companies in various sectors are running at very good capacity utilization. So you should see a very good uptake in the industrials per se. And also, if you look at the way the real estate companies are performing, so that also will have a very positive uptake as far as the steel and even cement companies are concerned. So we believe that industrials should do well, both as far as the capex cycle is concerned. Some of the stocks have run up, but still from a slightly longer term perspective, there would be a very good opportunity to invest in the cap goods companies.
Right. Even as the Nifty is sitting with a cut of almost 160 odd points, there's been some respite in the mid-cap end of things. That index is now falling lesser than the frontline index, and that's on account of a handful of stocks which are doing well. Say something like Nalco. In fact, the entire metals pack is doing extremely well this morning, has seen a recovery from the lows. Tata Communications, a stock that did well yesterday, is continuing to find some buyers at lower levels. Bharat Forge, on account of a positive data coming in from the North America Class 8 truck sales, and JSPL as well, along with the metals pack doing well. So we do have a fair amount of stocks which are gaining from the mid-cap end of things as well. And the advanced decline has now narrowed to about just 2 stocks in the red for 1 in the green. Remember, at the open, it was close to 4.5 stocks in the red for 1 in the green. But, Mr. Karwa, if you could tell us, going forward, what kind of stocks will do well? Because most of the experts that we polled, they believe that this year could belong to the large caps after a big outperformance that we saw from the mid caps and the small caps in the previous year.
My sense is that in an economy which is expected to do well, I think the small caps and the mid caps should outperform the large caps. Large caps are very well discovered, and they have also delivered very good returns in the last 12 to 24 months. And if you pick up the right sectors in the small cap, mid cap segment and buy the right leaders, then they would have massive tailwinds as far as the growth is concerned, and in terms of opportunity for both earnings growth as well as multiple expansion. The scope is much better in small and mid caps than in the large caps. So yes, a balanced portfolio is the need of the hour, and the risk appetite of individual investors is a different matter. But if you are looking at absolute returns, then possibly the small and the mid cap segment should give you much better returns than the large caps.
And what sectors there in specific?
Yeah, so I mean, you have the whole building material space in the small and mid cap segment, which continues to do well, and that is one segment that should deliver very good returns. Then you have the road construction and EPC companies. Valuations are very reasonable over there. That is one segment that we believe should give you very good returns. And more than that, in small caps, what happens is that there are many small sectors or sub-sectors where if you buy the leader, that is a better way of going about it than trying to look at the opportunity to invest on a sectoral or a top-down basis.
Well, Krishna, some of these sectors, that's hotels, the aviation, the cinema-related stocks, they have been fluctuating between the lock and the unlock theme, and they give you big returns. If in case we do see a dip on some of these names, would you be looking to get into it, or would it be too adventurous for your liking?
Definitely. I think we have seen the opportunity. I mean, these sectors or these companies in these segments, they have a right to exist and deliver. My sense is that this temporary lockdowns, etc., we have seen that finally things restart. So that if there is an opportunity to invest in these segments, and if there is any price correction in many of these stocks because of some temporary disruptions, they should definitely be invested in. There is a case for investing in all the companies or the sectors that you mentioned.
Krishna, looking into the year, since we're at the start of the year, what is the biggest risk to this market now? Is it inflation, which is of course a global risk that could percolate into our markets as well? Or do you think, headwinds like Omicron and the impact it could have on businesses, is that a bigger risk according to you?
I think the biggest risk is inflation and the ability of companies to be able to pass on the price increases to the customers. And if inflation is very heavy and if we see margin contraction for companies, that would be a big challenge for most of the companies. Apart from that, obviously with inflation comes interest rate hikes, etc. And that itself will also impact the valuations of companies. From a global perspective, I think the challenge is that as far as we could see a rupee weakening versus the USD, and if that happens, then there could be some challenges on the flow or inflow or outflow from global investors, and that would have a much bigger impact on the larger companies where the FIIs are invested.
Okay, Krishna, we leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining us. Have a great year, a safe one, a healthy one, and we'll speak to you once again very soon. Well, that's the word coming in on the markets, which by the way is still down about 1%.